4th National Book Awards. Yes. Before we get going, are there any moms for liberty in the house? Moms for liberty? No? Good. Then hands will not need to be thrown tonight.
There's very few things more delicious today than knowing that Lavar Burton, who opened the National Book Awards, started it with saying, "Are there any moms for liberty in the house?" And no one raised a hand. He was like, "Good." What's better than that? A person of color kind of shading those horrendous white, paunchy, alcoholic moms for liberty. Nothing, really. That's the story of the day.
So the year was 1977, and a movie titled Roots came out, and it was successful, a big hit. And the star of that movie, or one of the stars, was none other than LeVar Burton, the man you just saw around that podium at his gig hosting the Book Awards. And it sounded lively. You heard them cheer when he asked if there were any moms of liberty in the crowd. And then he laughed and he said, "Good, then no hands will have to be thrown." And then that next little clip of one of his fans, I guess, called the moms of liberty a bunch of alcoholics. These are the liberals, the Democrats, the ones who want to teach our children things in grammar school and elementary school that they should not be learning. But we can't talk about it because if we do, we're the bad ones. Well, the Moms of Liberty is an American conservative political organization that advocates against curricula about LGBTQ, critical race theory, ethnicity, or anything that has to do with discrimination. 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 8, 10, and so on. They are children. They are impressionable. They do not need to learn, in my opinion, and of course the Moms of Liberty, they don't need to learn that in school. But LeVar Burton wanted to make sure he didn't have to throw hands with anybody if any Moms of Liberty were in the crowd. The organization was formed in January of 2021 by 3 women in Melbourne, Florida. And oh yes, Florida. Oh, we all know how bad Florida is. The state where people were able to live their lives during the great virus. We all know. But this man who advocated for violence, because that's what that was, so we don't have to throw hands. And the mainstream liberal media is quiet. The Democratic Party is quiet. But let's change hands for a moment. If that was a white person hosting the book awards, because again, it seemed like such an extravagant event, white person's at that podium and says, "Are there any BLM supporters out there?" And nobody raised their hand. And if the white person said, "Oh, good, that means we won't have to throw hands," what would happen? The mainstream liberal media would lose their minds and have a meltdown. Any person of color would lose their minds and have a meltdown. And most likely there would have been protesting and destruction of property in the streets. But because a black man said that about a group of women that was formed by some white women against having their children indoctrinated in school, it's okay. Because after all, he's black. But then his white friend in the next clip called them alcoholics. Well, I don't know who that guy was, and quite frankly, I don't care. To me, he's just another Democrat who supports all that nonsense they try to shove down our children's throats. When will this ever end? When will these so-called actors, you know, the great LeVar Burton, when will they understand that the average American, like myself, and I'm sure you, we don't care what people do as long as they are adults. Once you turn 18, you can read whatever you want, call yourself whatever you want, dress however you want, have as many surgeries as you want, and no one cares. But no, we can't do that today. We can't, because if the white man, myself, comes out against it, I'm the bad person, I'm the bigot, I need to be quiet and go along with it. Well, like I've always said in the past, and I'm not going to belabor this, I'm never going to go along with it. I've also said in the past, I don't care what people do as long as they are adults. So LeVar Burton and all the other liberals who are insisting that we continue to indoctrinate our children can just preach all they want because they're preaching on deaf ears. As far as I'm concerned, it should not happen, and the Moms of Liberty are trying to make sure it doesn't happen because bottom line, it's wrong. It is wrong to try to do this to impressionable children. Teach them the basics, what they need to learn as they grow. And when they're old enough, they can do whatever they want. And that's it. So thanks for tuning in and have a great night.